Today is a special day, in my opinion, everyone. I want to begin by pointing out again, John 1, verse 1, He is the Word, and the Word is with Him. And then reiterate what I've also pointed out, which is very important. Isaiah 46, verses 9 and 10, and I'll read some of that. Remember the former things, those of long ago. That's verse 9. And verse 10, I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times what is still to come. Now remember, I explained to you and asked you to read chapter 12 for yourselves of Daniel chapter 12, where he was told to seal up the words in the book. And I showed where Jesus and his two witnesses were there to receive the words as well. And Daniel himself didn't understand these words when, and this is shown when he tells the Lord he doesn't understand. But the witnesses didn't say they didn't understand. So the word I'm given to give you today is the current word we are in, pandemic. And this is to mean all the people. But let me show you what it really means through the word, because He is the Word. And this will give reverence and glory to the Word. We first go to pan, which is the first part, which most people know this is the goat man god, but it's also known as Baphomet. This is very widely known. So then we go to the second part, which reveals much, much more, but we know what Pan is. Pan is Baphomet. We go to Demic, the second part. Demic, and remember, from ancient times, Demic is derived from the word demos, or demos, which obviously I won't get into the fact that is clearly associated with demons, demos. So I'm going to move to the more important part, the more ancient part of demos and its relationship. This is in very ancient times, the god of terror. But more importantly, is known as the god of panic. This is what we're seeing with this pandemic. Demos is the god of panic. He is also the god of war. And for those who have said to me, well, what about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Well, John was himself only a prophet. He was not a witness. These things were only to be known by the witnesses. He was given words just as Daniel was in his time. And the witnesses would be able to reveal all things of the word, have complete discernment of John's word, of Daniel's words, and of all words. So there you have it. There's your second horse. Demos was known as one of the 2 war horses of Ares. And you see now what's happening with Syria, Turkey, and Russia. During this pandemic, it's created panic, which it was meant to do, as stated by the Word, because He is the Word. And then it also represents the war to come. just as was prophesied. So again, it was all prophesied through the Word and through Scripture. So I want to reiterate to you, as I have before, you don't know what you don't know, because they were not meant for you to see until they were revealed by the witnesses. These things were sealed away. All these meanings of these words were sealed away for its given time, and only the witnesses would be able to decipher them as needed in their time, just as Daniel and just as John. I compel everybody to fact check. Look these words up for yourselves now and see that the veil's being lifted. We're in those times, just as I said. It's time to restore your covenant with the Lord. Get in the Word. Find discernment. Read the Scripture. God bless everybody.